began to become apparent to the general population, mostly because it was made popular by, you guessed it, the news. And you got to understand when politicians discuss fake news, the only way you know they do is because it's on the news. Fake news, apparent to the general population, brought about to the awareness mainstream media by mainstream media. In fact, there seems circulating around the interweb a call to retire the term fake news already. But will it disappear? Of course not, and here's why. Again, there was when I was younger, and being programmed by the doctrine of what the government deems as, quote, education, a term called yellow journalism. The definition of this is as follows: a type of journalism that presents little or no legitimate, well-researched news, and instead uses eye-catching headlines to sell more newspapers. Of course, that's in a time when newspapers were newspapers. Techniques may include exaggerations of news events, scandal-mongering, or sensationalism. The term, according to Google Almighty, was coined in the mid-1890s to characterize the sensational journalism that used some yellow ink in the circulation war between Joseph Pulitzer's New York World and William Randolph Hearst's New York Journal. So blah, blah, blah. Bottom line was to sell more newspapers to make more money. So let's take a look at that concept in today's world. First, we need to identify who controls the literally thousands, if not, well, hundreds of thousands of media outlets in the United States. Are you ready for this super long list? Well, here's what I found. GE, News Corporation, Rupert Murdoch's deal there. Disney, Viacom, Time Warner, and CBS. Although there have been some, mergers and acquisitions and blah, blah, blah. They're all the same. There's a cool diagram that describes this at morriscreative.com. There's a neat little diagram. It shows that 232 media executives in this country control the information diet, as it says, of 277 million Americans. 15 people. You're talking about 6 corporations that own the very media. No matter, you can sit and decide between which local channel. It doesn't matter. The revenue for these monsters, you understand, in 2010, because again, I was completely unprepared and did my research at the last minute. Yes, I can hear those educators in my head. You didn't get your homework done in time. So what? What was I programmed to be? Actually took an assessment test in the 8th grade that said, get this, said the career path I should follow was a mortician or a funeral director. Thank you very much. Yeah. I should have a funny joke there, but obviously comedian was not in the career path. Not until I got married anyway. And then everything's funny. $276 billion in 2010 brought in. This is the revenue. $276 billion. This is just the news. Just the news. Now, because I live in BF Egypt, Kentucky, and the cable company will not run a mere 10 more miles to where I am limited to the wonderful data plan that is Verizon. And I'm not going to play the more than 9-minute long video I've found at YouTube that shows a countless number of TV news agencies, local news, national news, introducing the same story with the exact same tagline. I download enough media and I'm using this damn data plan. And data is very, very precious to me. There are times I won't download a song because it's 3 megs. You know, you try to save every bit you get because I can burn through 10 gigs a month. I know I hear about Simple Mobile and they talk about this unlimited plan, full 4G LTE data the entire month. I need to check that out. But if anybody knows anything that's better, because I'm spending a ridiculous amount on this damn data plan, please let me know. But again, back to where everybody's using the same bullshit lines to sell the same bullshit story. This is completely indicative of the lack of individuality and, to me, brings into question the very validity of those who claim to, let's just say be present and who report or get awards for their journalistic integrity on whatever area they serve. Everybody has their favorite local news guy or weather guy, and all this stuff. If you pick up your smartphone, all your information is there. The weather forecast is there. Does any local guy have to understand? Of course he goes to school. Of course he goes, and becomes a meteorologist. But he can go to weatherchannel.com and then just read something as though he wrote it. Are we ever going to know the difference? Why, I do it all the time. No, I actually take the time to write some of the things. But when I'm quoting others, I take the time to actually write what I want to say. Or just make it up, whatever. See, there's a good example, a tangent. Okay, 6 corporations, over 90%. 6 corporations, 90% of all of your news is controlled by 6 corporations, 232 executives. Was it 32? I guess it was. And between them, 15 billionaires, 15 billionaire families are in control of what you see on the news. And you have to assume now that if 15 billionaires who could care less about you than a piece of lint on the Armani suit, if these people are so stinking rich, have an agenda, and you cannot be rich without ever having an agenda. War is money. If those news agencies formulate your opinion of what's going on in blah Blahzakistan, place you'll never see, the only thing you know about it is what they show you. I mean, just last week, it's running around all over the internet that Russia has just now made domestic violence perfectly fucking legal. Perfectly legal. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. I didn't do the research. Don't know. Don't care. Of course I care. Domestic violence should not be legal, of course. I don't care about the story because I can't trust it. So if there's an agenda by all these controllers and the owners of the news, then guess what? Your opinion will be formulated to vote for or elect the person who will get done what they want to have done. Yes, in the background, if you can Hear that? That is the Inception theme song. This thing is going to haunt me forever. In a good way, because I think we're dreaming this sometimes. Shh. Edith Piaf, be quiet. Beautiful song, though. Anyway, all these people, these 15 people, these people that own the 90%, over 90% of the news and media outlets in this country, they get together and allow you, the American, the privilege, because it's not a right, of knowing what the hell is going on in the world. You are being fed exactly and only what they want you to know. There is still the illusion sold, yes, sold to Americans, that we have a choice of news agencies, although Fox certainly has taken a beating ever since George W. I want to give you I want to give you a quick introduction to how even you, the educated individual, can be swayed by a simple question. This is a prime example in manipulation. I understand the workings, having been abused myself, the inner workings of the mind of someone who abuses someone, and it is control and manipulation. And I'll show you by this simple question how you can have your. In fact, I should have done this as a poll. I should have done this as a poll to all my beautiful friends who love the Socratic Method Facebook page, of which Megan is an admin. I'm never going to stop talking about that girl. She's awesome. And I have my reasons. I have major reasons for discussing her. She's a thorn in this crazy girl's side. And, anyway, that's Facebook drama. But here's how you can be swayed by a simple question. This question is designed to generate the desired result. Say you're on the street and some random reporter approaches you, taking a poll and approaches you and says, asks you this question. Do you think, since, immigration is a hot topic right now, do you think illegal immigrants should have welfare, free food, health care, and money to live on, free education? You're going to say, hell no, this is America, and they're going to take our jobs. Yes, I love America. I just don't like idiots. Not that people are idiots, just the government, and they think we are the idiots because we can't see through their bullshit. Okay, so they ask you that question. You're gonna sit there and say, "Oh no, they should not have the same rights as we have. We're here legally." Of course, ask any Native American, and they'll tell you different. I understand that. We're all immigrants here illegally, if you're white. But see how the tangents just keep going on. You see why this is why my wife just fades out on me and her eyes just kind of glaze over. She's like, "Oh my God, here he goes again." But fortunately, you get to listen because you choose to, not because I force you to. I'm not CNN. I'm not the mainstream media. So you would answer that question as no, they should not have the same rights. And that is that. And so they have their poll. But let's say a reporter asks you this question. Do you think the children of illegal immigrants to this country should be forced to suffer a life without food, shelter, health care, or an education? Now, these are kids. These are kids that you spend your 64 cents a day, the price of a cup of coffee. Cup of coffee. No, I've not been smoking. Cup of coffee to, where the hell ever, so these kids can eat food. And I'm thinking, geez, it only cost me 19 cents a day. Wish I could eat on 19 cents a day. But it's a scam. It's a scam. It's all a scam. The selling you the illusion, the hero that you're a hero, that you're